All right, we are live. Hey girl, hey, this is Victoria Parker, the owner of Hey Girl, Hey Health and Fitness, and I have another one of my awesome, amazing speakers that will be presenting on May 12th through the 14th at the Mind, Body, Soul Virtual Summit. So let me introduce you to Nisa Williams. Hey girl, hey.
Hey girl, hey.
Can you just start, well, before we get started, let's show off our shirts. We are showing our descriptive shirts.
Yes, these are descriptions of who we are. Queen and
phenomenal woman. That is me. She.
Thank you very much.
Put on your crown, queen. Put on your crown. Yes. Let me crown
it's
you.
Always on. Yeah,
I know that's right. I know that's right. All right, so introduce yourself, Queen Nisa.
Yes. So my name is Nisa Williams. Victoria, when did I meet you? I met you several months ago at an exercise, a fitness type of event, and I just loved your energy. And I'm so excited to be a part of the summit. You're welcome. Thank you. And what I do, my passion is really helping women overcome the shame of financial codependency. And I have always had a passion for helping women in one way or another. And recently, I'll say last year sometime, I kind of found my lane and my purpose when it comes to helping women become more financially literate.
Nice. Okay, so financial literacy. So I know so let's get real quick. I'm just going.
Let's get real.
Right. So in our community, I don't know about your family, but I know it was one of those things that what happens in our house stays in our house, right? And money was something that we just really didn't discuss. Like I was growing up, I thought we were rich. I really did. And so we just didn't talk about money. And I never went without, by the grace of God and by the hard work of the women and men who raised me. But at the end of the day, we didn't talk about finances. We didn't talk about money. So for me as an adult, even in my marriage, it was always, we're just getting to the point where I'm feeling comfortable because of this business, really talking about money. When we talk about money or budgeting, I'd shut down because I didn't grow up with that. So how did you get to the point where you were wanting to give out the message of, financial literacy and getting women to overcome the shame of finance?
Yes. Well, we're not given a roadmap, right? Like you said, what happens in our house stays in our house. And when you said that, what I thought is, and as children, we don't even know really what's happening in our house. Because if our parents were having financial struggles or anything, we didn't know that. They just did what they had to do in order to take care of us, right? So we didn't have that roadmap. And unfortunately, I got myself into a situation, several situations, where I was kind of making it up as I went. What is the expectation of a wife, or what is the expectation of a woman?
Part.
What's the expectation of a woman? And it's, to be a great wife and be a great mother and, run the household, and I, in my head, also be a great Christian. We want to be all of those things, right? Of course, those are great things to be, but I didn't also think about my financial stability and my financial future. So married for 15 years and ended up getting a divorce. Divorce is always hard, but I'm going to say thankfully ended up getting a divorce. And at that point, when I was moving from the East Coast to California, where I am now, I had to build up my own credit, build up my own savings in order to prepare for the move. And it took me a little over a year to do that. But in that process, I learned about, what it takes to build strong credit and how to save and how to, be frugal when you have to be, because, every time we go out, I know for me, every time I go out, I want to buy another shirt or, whatever. Anyway, really most recently, what my wake up call was engaged for 2.5 years.
Okay.
And at the time, he was a great guy. He brought a lot of money to the table and everything. Not that I was looking for that, but I was looking for stability.
Stability, right.
Yes. And We had a great place, everything was fine, but I didn't use that opportunity to get my finances in order, to get my credit straight, to build my business or any of that, because in my head, I'm going to be the great wife, I'm going to be the great mother, I'm going to cook all the dinners, and I will let him handle the finances. Well, abruptly, he broke up with me. Out of the blue. And because the lease on our home was ending in 3 months, I had 3 months to find a place for me and my kids.
Wow.
3 months, yeah. And my credit was in such bad shape that I'm not even playing when I say I was prepared to live in my car with my kids if I couldn't find a place to live. I was deciding what beach I was going to park my car out front of,
right,
and
yeah.
how am I going to finally tell my kids, you know, what's really going on. That's the reality, honestly.
Yeah.
Because, you know, here in Southern California, they don't play when it comes to credit and renting or owning, whatever it is. So I needed to be able to get my financial house in order for myself very quickly. And internally, I was panicking, but externally, I was like, okay, game on. What is it that I need to do? And that's where when I found this financial literacy company that I have since partnered with and incorporated into my LLC. And they helped me to fix my credit very quickly. And in the process, taught me about budgeting, taught me about, you know, saving, building wealth, multiple streams of income, all of those things. So after I came out of that, I'm in my beautiful 4-bedroom home with my children, and we're fine. We are not living on a beach anywhere.
By the grace of God, look,
yes,
won't he do it?
But after I came out of that, like I said, I always had a passion for helping women. I said, I don't want another woman, for lack of knowledge, you know, for having these misconceptions, to be in the same position that I was in. It's unnecessary. It's unnecessary. And really, I would say that most of us end up in that position because of fear and shame. Whether you're in a great relationship, who sits around and talks about their credit score? Especially if it's not, you know, 700, 800
right.
No one's talking about their credit score. Who's talking about the fact that they don't have a savings? Who's talking about the fact that they are really living paycheck to paycheck, just barely? We're not talking about that. We're posting on social media, you know, our cars and our homes and us hanging out and
getting them angles.
our smiles, right? All of that. But when you put your phone down and you're not on social media anymore, you're left with that shame or that fear. And it keeps us where we are. It keeps us stagnant, and not just us, but our children as well, generation after generation, because we are not giving them the example. We're not giving them the roadmap, because it's something that we don't talk about. So I want to rip away the shame and the fear and empower women and let them know you don't have to be in this financial situation at all. And again, you could be single, a single mom. I am a single mother. Mm-hmm. You could be a woman coming out of divorce. You could be a woman in a very stable, happy marriage. You still want to be empowered to know that you have your own, or you're able to step up financially to help out if the time comes, if you have to.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. And you know, it's so funny that you said that too, because I don't remember if I shared with you, but when we moved here to California because of my husband's job, we kind of decided that it was more cost effective for me to stay at home. We have a 4-year-old, instead of paying $1,300 a month for her to go to daycare. We just thought it made sense. And then I had decided that I wanted to start the business. So last year, you know, I'm home, we started the business, you know, he's doing beautifully in his job. He's excelling like he always does, you know, doing the dang thing. And then on April 1st, he got laid off. And for us, it was like, for him, it hurt because he had dedicated so much and worked so hard for this company.
Yeah.
But that's the reality of corporate America, first of all. And second of all, it made me feel like, well, what do I bring to the table? Like, now it's time for me to step up. Like,
Right.
I got to make some things happen.
Yes.
So the summit was planned. That's part of the reason why I'm doing this, because I'm like, I have to get this business going, up and running, because he's had one interview, and my husband has all the experience. He's a brilliant man. You know, he has everything. Anybody's lucky to have him, but right now, the state that we're on, people aren't hiring people. So I have to find a way to be there. And I was like you. My concern was, you know, providing for our house, as far as like making sure our house was still standing and people was functional, and making sure my kids are educated and well taken care of, because he traveled a lot. So, you know, I did a lot on my own with them because he was gone often. But talk about a mind shift, right? Talk about, like, I was kind of lazy in this business for the first 6 months because I was comfortable.
Get complacent. We get comfortable. Yeah.
And I was like, I don't feel like posting on Instagram. I don't feel like offering. You know, I joined some business groups and I sat back and like watched the other women do their thing. And I'm like, oh, I'm so inspired. But I didn't do nothing. And now it's like, no, I get up at 5 a.m. every day and I'm working.
And how does that make you feel? Like, as you're talking, I feel that sense of that phenomenal woman, queen. I can step up and help my household and help my husband, my man, when needed.
Absolutely. Because I mean, I've always worked. This is the longest I've never not been employed by somebody else, you know?
Right.
But so it's never like, I didn't feel like I could do it, but I was so comfortable in the fact that he was, you know? And not that I was like, oh, I'm being taken care of, because that wasn't the case either, but it just was like, I was comfortable in the space that I was in, you know, and it was working for us, and we had a lot of security in that. But I know that God is shifting some things for us. He's shaking it up, and I'm ready for it. And this is the test in the testimony. But I think that is something that important for women to realize, is that you can still be on your thing, do the dang thing, because there could be a time when he's gonna need to lean on you, and you need to be ready for it.
And you want to be ready for it. You don't want to crumble when he needs you, right? You want to be able to stand up strong and play your role. I hate to use that term, but
but no, it's
when it's time. Yes, and we can still be the wonderful wife, the wonderful mother, the wonderful homemaker, the wonderful Christian, and all of that, while also handling our business. And we usually leave handling our business to the side until we're forced to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that brings me to something else I want to talk about with you, is asking for help. Because I think that we do a terrible job as women asking for help and allowing ourselves to get the self-care that we need, financial support that we need. You know, if your credit is jacked up, you need to be able to say, okay, I need to go find somebody that can help me with this.
I need some help, right?
I need some help.
I need some help. You know what I think that comes from? Historically, if we think about our mothers and our grandmothers and our great-grandmothers, they were super women. They just did what they had to do, right? And they never talked about the difficulties, or you didn't hear them complaining or anything, really. And we, as Black women, we have this superwoman complex that we have to be able to handle it all. And if I told you my story of me finding out, oh my gosh, I'm not superwoman, I broke and didn't even realize what was going on, but it was because I was trying to handle everything, the shift from the divorce, the move across the country, the all of a sudden single mom. At one point I had lost my job, just everything. But in my head, I'm superwoman. I'm just going to handle it. I'm just going to keep on going.
Game face.
For help. Right. Game face. Game face. We have to be able to ask for help.
Absolutely.
And not be ashamed to do it. Can I just say this? With my financial literacy business, I do help women restore their credit. It's one of the things that I do, right? And when working with single moms or someone who's going through a difficult financial time, a lot of the times I will forego my commission to make it more affordable for them. And even still, there are women that are afraid to say something, or afraid to get the help. And I just want to go around and shake everybody and say, don't be afraid. I'm not coming from a position of, well, I'm here now and, you know, you're there and I'll help you. Absolutely not. We are one in the same. We are one in the same, and you don't have to be there. Let's go. Let's do this together.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, I want to learn from somebody who's been there and done that versus who read it from a book.
Right.
You know what I mean? I want to know I stuff like that. Like, I want my doctor to know what he's doing. But, you know, in that type of situation, especially with finances, like, I want somebody, because it's easy to tell me what to do. But if you haven't juggled a situation like balancing a household, raising kids, losing a job, you know, all the things that play into finance, you know, struggles, financial struggles, then it's hard for you to relate, right?
Exactly.
And then really give me something that's and give me something that I can use and something that is like realistic for me. And so that's what I appreciate about you. And from our first conversation about this topic, that's the one thing that drew me to you, was like, oh yeah, she knows because she's been there. You know what it's like to be a mom and a wife, and you know what it's like to have to juggle it all, in addition to being accountable for some money.
Yes. And I can tell you there's plenty of lessons I still have to learn, right? But this right here is not going to be one of them. And I let my children, especially my girls, but my son as well, I let my children see what I'm doing. You know, I'm handling this. I'm building an empire for us. And this is what we're doing. I am helping women. It's important to help other people. I'll say this. When I first started this business, it was slow going. But as soon as I said, wait a minute, Nisa, what is your purpose? What is your purpose? You said you were getting in this to help women. You weren't, I mean, we all want to make money. Oh yeah, I want to make money. Well, I'm not even
business if you're not making money.
I'm not even going to pretend like I don't want to make money. If I said I was doing this to help women, then do this to help women. And as soon as I started moving in my purpose, the floodgates open. The floodgates open. Yeah. And that's what I want everybody to know, that I'm genuine. I'm here. And
so that's funny you brought that up, because this is now, I think, my fourth conversation in the last 2 days. And every last one of the women that I talked to brought up the topic of purpose and walking in your purpose and following the things that, you know, you're meant to do. And whether you use the word purpose or dream or, you know, whatever your mission, you know, whatever it is, it's just being authentic.
Yes.
And I think that's what we don't get a lot of in our world today. Like, it's hard to get to get to know somebody authentically, because a lot of times they don't know themselves authentically. So
True.
I like the fact that you said that. That's like, ding, I love that. I just brought it all together for me.
Thank you.
So I like how let's go back to you talking about, you know, talking to your kids and teaching your kids. What are one or two of the lessons or the things that you have them or that are teaching them now they can actually implement now, you know, that we can use for our kids as well?
Well, I'll think about my daughters. I have a 24-year-old, an 18-year-old, and then a 15-year-old. I have to think. I have so many kids. I got to think about their ages.
Girl, I know. I got 4 too.
Yes, but I have taught them, or I'm actively teaching them, really to be financially responsible. So, for example, my oldest daughter, do not go to college and get a bunch of student loans and come out in debt. She took that to heart, and she got a full ride for undergrad and grad. And now my 18-year-old who's about to go to college, she took that to heart, and she's trying to stay here and commute so that she doesn't have to pay so much. I would like for her to leave. Love her to death. Yes, go. But she's working, and she's not spending frivolously like any other 18-year-old who's living at home would do. You know, she's constantly saving her money. They've learned how to use credit wisely. it's just things like that. I want you to be financially smart, financially responsible. Build your nest egg. My oldest daughter, I told her, follow your passion. We want money, but don't think about the money when it comes to your degree and things like that. What is your passion? And then everything else will come. And I'm teaching my other children the same thing as well.
Absolutely. I love that because, like I said, growing up, we don't get that. It's our generation. We didn't get that, and so it's so, there's something to be said for giving you, it's so empowering because I tell my kids, I'm planning on leaving you a big, large, an empire, a business that's, I plan on leaving. So I need you to know how to run my business. Not your business.
Yes.
And for my son's 8th birthday on Wednesday, he received the Kidpreneur. Have you seen that book?
I heard of it. I think my son had it. Yeah.
Did he have it? So we haven't started yet, but I bought him that book from Amazon, Kidpreneur.
I think he does. Okay.
And we plan. It's a little workbook, like a little paperback workbook, but we will be working through that because he said for a long time that he wants to own a shoe store.
Okay.
He's a shoe store owner, and he wants to design his own shoes, and so. So
That's
I'm
awesome.
like, okay, don't talk about it, let's be about it, because I sat on this dream for a long time, and so I have had business plans completed and never did anything.
Well,
so I'm
you're
like,
doing
I
it
can't.
now. Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't let them do that. So it's something to be said for preparing our kids at a young age.
100%. I say to them all the time, especially since I moved out here to Southern California, I've never met a multi-millionaire who works for someone else. Start your own business. Go get your degrees. Yes, of course, maybe work for someone, get the knowledge and everything, but the goal, the plan is to be an entrepreneur and have multiple streams of income.
Do you want to touch on that a little bit? I know that's part of yours, and I don't know, are you going to give away too much?
No, that's okay. Multiple streams of income?
Yes.
So necessary, especially with a perfect example of what's going on right now. No one expected us to have a global pandemic and the world shut down.
Right.
And there are so many people who are, their main job, they're laid off or they're furloughed or they just, were let go. And so their income is gone. What do you do? Well, if you have multiple streams of income in place already, I don't care if you sell pies, okay? Or
there's a market for it.
Yes, whatever it is. Maybe while you have this main stream of income, that's just something that you have on the side, something you're doing on the side. But if you happen to lose that main stream of income, you can push forward with your other stream of income in order to bring in money. We can't have one stream of income anymore.
Right.
Yeah, we really can't. And I think it's so important for us to have our own businesses. I can't be fired from my own job. I'm not gonna let myself
fire me some days. Some days I get on my own nerves.
Right? But no one really, really cares about our financial situation more than we do. If I happen to get let go, Lord forbid, from my main job, they're not going to lose sleep. They're not going to be worried about if Nisa's sleeping in her car outside of Laguna Beach, right?
That's a good beach, though.
It's a great beach. That's why I chose that one. It's beautiful. That's why I chose. No, they're not thinking that, So no one takes care of you better than you.
Absolutely. So
have those multiple streams of income, and I say whatever your passion is, make that your stream. Make that one.
What's funny too, I told you earlier before we started recording that I was on a call with our women's ministry for church. We did like a little coffee with the girls event. It was a lot of fun. And some of the women were talking about, we asked, how are you faring in all of this? What are some of the things you've been doing? And several of the women, one woman said, I haven't played the piano in years, and I just got back on and I've been playing the piano. And I believe she said I've been writing again. So I don't know if she meant writing songs or just write. And I'm just like, these are things that talents and skills that you haven't been using because you've been working for somebody else.
For
right?
somebody else, right?
And then another woman said, I picked up painting again. She's like, I haven't painted in years. I started painting again. And I'm just like, to me, it was just amazing because I feel like that's exactly what was meant to happen at this time, for us to sit down and tap into the things that God has placed into us for us to achieve. Like he gave us these skills and these talents and we're not using them.
And use them for other people. Use them. So when you were talking about, you know, one woman sat down and played the piano. In my head, I said she could teach virtual piano classes. Yeah. The one who paints. Oh, she could do paintings. I would buy one of her. Multiple streams of income using your passion, something that sets your soul on fire, you know, that makes you feel good. Who doesn't want to make money doing that?
One of my girlfriends just, she's a stay-at-home mom. And on Wednesday, she hosted my son's virtual Zoom birthday party.
Oh.
And when and she came up with the idea and she was like, I'm thinking this might be a business opportunity. I'm like, absolutely. It was so much fun.
It is.
Like, so she did scavenger hunts and they had Kahoot games and it was themed. And she had one on Wednesday, one on Thursday, and one today. I'm sorry?
I was about to say, can you tell her not is a business opportunity, go for it?
Yes, absolutely. Because because what was so great about it is like we're here in California. We know our church family that we've met since we've been here. My son's made a few friends in school, but I don't even have half of their contacts. So I had to go through the teacher to get contacted to those parents. But then like my dad, all my family in Vegas was my family in Alabama was able to watch and be a part of it. And it was just, I'm like, this might be how I do birthday parties even after we open up, just because it was great living away from home to have everybody there. You know, it was just awesome. So yeah, it is a business idea.
I love it. When I get married again, I said I'm doing it over Zoom. Like,
there you go.
Yeah, please tell her. Yeah, tell her, don't sit on it. Go for it. Just do it. Just do it. That's awesome.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Nisa, I don't want to keep you too much longer. I know it's getting later in the day. We have to get dinner ready and all of that stuff. But what is one reason why folks should join us at the virtual summit next week?
They need to join us at the virtual summit next week in order to be empowered in every single way. You will walk away from the summit feeling like the queen and the phenomenal woman that you are. Come and get those keys. Yes, those tidbits, those really important things that you need for life. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it'll be tangible things that you can do like right away,
right now.
You know, right now. So actually, I think you said you were going to share some tips in the summit about things that you can do right now to help yourself get on track. So join us next week, May 12th through the 14th. We'll be streaming on Zoom and in our Facebook group. But register at Hey Girl Fitness. The link is in my bio. And Nisa, do you want to share your Instagram handle where people can find you?
Yes, it is NisaK Consulting, NisaK.Consulting LLC.
NisaK.Consulting LLC.
I know.
And I'll put it I'll tag you in the link for this too, so we can find. Find you. So Nisa, thank you so much. It means so much to get to know you even better and to spend this time with you. But I am so honored to have you in the summit next week. And thank you for sharing and just giving us, sharing your passion with us and really feeding into us. So I appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity. I'm honored and excited.
Yay. Well, I will see you later. Can I get a hey girl, hey?
Hey girl, hey.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.